Assalamualaikum. My name is Widi Mutakin from Expos Academy. In this tutorial, we are going to cover a function called XLOOKUP. The reason why I am interested in discussing this function is because a lot of users of Excel 365 and Excel 2019 are still using the old way of doing lookup, proven by the number of questions and searches using the keyword VLOOKUP and also HLOOKUP, even though currently there is a replacement function that is more sophisticated called XLOOKUP. In the past versions, we used VLOOKUP to search for data vertically, in HLOOKUP to search for data horizontally. Now with XLOOKUP, with just only one function, we can search both vertically or horizontally. For those of you who never used all these functions before, don't worry, because we will cover this from the very basic. So, what exactly is this XLOOKUP function? Essentially, we use XLOOKUP to look for data that are equivalent to or parallel to the data we are pointing to. For more details, let's just look at the following example. On the left, we have the main table which stores all the product data. In the first column, we have the ID. This ID is a unique code that belongs to each product. What unique means is that different products should have different ID numbers. Then in the next column, we have the product's name. And in the next column, we have the name of the company that manufactures the product or the company that supplies it. And finally, we have the price list. For this example, I created only 55 rows of data. But just imagine if we have hundreds or even thousands of data in this product table. This large amount of product data is very common if you run a large reseller business like Walmart or Carrefour, for example. Now imagine if the shop's scanner system is broken, but you still have to create a daily sales report. We already have a list of the product IDs sold today from a manual note process. Now our task is to find the names of the products according to the available product ID numbers. If you have a main product table with thousands of rows of data, surely you don't want to do this manually. If you need to do this in Excel, then you can use the XLOOKUP function. To use this function, click on the cell where you want the product's name to appear. Then type in the equal symbol. Next, type in XL. We can see that Excel displays the auto-suggestion list and already has the XLOOKUP function in that list. Since there is only one item on this list, we don't need to press the arrow keys. Just press Tab. We can see Excel is displaying the hint for using this XLOOKUP function. Unlike sum and average, XLOOKUP requires a minimum of 3 parameters for it to work. First, it needs input for the lookup value. Then it needs input for the lookup array. And finally, it needs input for the return array. Now, for the next following parameters, these are all optional. We can tell if a parameter is optional by looking at the bracket symbols that surround it. So again, these 3 parameters are mandatory, whereas those inside the brackets are all optional. So now we need to enter the lookup value. What lookup value means is the value that Excel will look for. In this case, the product's ID value. So just click on this cell on the left side. Then, to input the next parameter, we must first separate it with a comma. Now we have to enter the lookup array. What lookup array means is a list of data that will be matched. Essentially, we have to enter a cell range code. We can't just click drag like this. However, that will not be a good idea if you have thousands of rows of data. It will take a very long time to use the click drag method. Now, if you know that this column is only used for the product's ID, we can just click on the column's letter. The entire A column is now selected, and we can see how to write a cell reference for an entire column is to write the column letter, then the column symbol, then the same column letter again. After you are done, you can continue to input the next parameter by typing the comma again. Next, we need to input the return array. What return array means are the cells containing the data that we want to display as a result. In this case, we want to find the name of the product. So click the entire column B. We can see similar column cell reference code as before, B: B. After this, we don't need to type the closing parentheses. Just press enter, and Excel will automatically write the parentheses for us. We now have the results that we want. We can check in the main table whether the data is valid. And yes, the data is valid. The product's ID 162 is indeed for a product called Debbie's Cheese. So we have successfully created the XLOOKUP function for a single row. But what about the other rows? Don't worry, we can use the autofill feature for this. Just click drag this small square downward like this, and it is done. We have created this small table quickly with the help of the XLOOKUP function and also the autofill feature. At this point, you may be wondering, so what about the data that spread horizontally or located in rows? This is actually pretty easy. You just need to replace the code for lookup array with a cell reference of the row that contains the data you want to find. And you can replace the return array code with a cell reference of the row containing the result data that you want to display. I am sure, inshallah, you guys can try it yourself. If you want to master Microsoft Excel thoroughly and quickly, then you should join my online course at Udemy or at Skillshare Microsoft Excel from Basic to Advanced. You will learn more than 10 hours of educational content. I carefully designed the curriculum so you guys can learn effectively in the shortest time possible. Besides Excel, I also provide computer graphics courses such as Photoshop, Krita, 3ds Max, Blender, and Adobe Illustrator. I have these courses at Udemy as well as Skillshare. You can check all the links below. As always, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up if you like this video, and thumbs down if you hate the video. Don't forget to watch my other tutorials. Wassalamualaikum.